Welcome to the game.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Sean. This is the Game Room. This is our Let's Build NuCoal. This is our fourth and final video of the NuCoal force that comes in the Battle in the Badlands two-player starter box. Tonight we're building the Chevalier. Tonight, this afternoon, whatever. There's a lot of parts on here. This is a big model, and if you want to follow along, page 56 of the assembly guide will have the sprue layout, but let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. Alright, so this is the sprue, and like I said, there's a lot going on here. Legs, 2 rocket pods, lots of stuff. Lots of big guns. Including a back-mounted weapon, which is kind of cool. Multiple arms, multiple piece, just like we did with Peace River. The larger model has 3 parts for the arms, so same thing here. Building a hammer variant, and you can see what that looks like in the assembly guide on page 61. And he's got the big rear-mounted artillery gun. So, without further ado, our plastic weld in hand, let's go ahead and start building. Now, we will talk about the arms when we get there and how those go together. The back piece, we're going to do that in separate pieces, and then we'll do the final assembly together. So, what we are looking at here is our legs, and has armor plates. So these will go here on the front, like so. These will go on the back. Okay. So if you haven't watched any of the other videos, I go into more detail about how these pieces all fit together. Feel free to take a look at those and come back if you have not. That is the cut on my thumb that I talked about in the last video, and I just couldn't function with the band-aid, so I had to take the band-aid off finally. So I will try to keep that ugly cut off of the camera. Okay, so with that one here, and if we look at the side view, our side leg armor will go right there. All right. Very cool. Very simple. Our left leg, or actually this is the right leg now. Alright. Like so. And then what you're seeing here, you see those knots right there on the back of these. There's a place to put it. That's all. That's why these go on so easily. So I'm just going to get that on there, and I use the plastic weld because the plastic weld literally does that. It melts the 2 pieces of plastic together, so when they dry they kind of become one piece because they've been melted. It softens the plastic, they become one, and you get a really good hold. But it does give you time to work with it if you need to manipulate the piece or anything. That doesn't give you a ton of time, but it gives you a little bit of time. Until the liquid evaporates or dries up. If you have super glue, you don't really get a whole lot of time as soon as you put the 2 pieces together. Okay, the front, or his body, you have the hips here, and then you also have the butt plate, which is right here. So, as with all of these, there is a little notch here and a kind of a ravine on the back. So this will go like this, like so. And you just have to look closely at it and you will see it there. And it kind of indicates what direction these will go to, just to make life a little bit easier. We will hold that together. Alright, I'm going to let that sit for a minute. Now, the backpack, or I always call it a backpack, the engine fits on here like that. It'll just slot into place. Okay, there is, especially on this model, there is kind of an order that needs to happen to this, and I'm hoping I'm getting it right, just because there's so many parts and parts that attach to other parts. So you want to make sure that you have everything in place. So I think I'm getting this in the right order. We will find out by the end of this video. I do need to pause for just a moment. Be right back. Okay, apologies for that. I actually had forgotten to clip off the linked heavy machine guns that go on the body, the torso. So those are right here. They were on the sprue still. And those are actually going to fit right in there. Okay. And we're going to have one on each side. Now, the Chevalier has heavy rifle, which is this guy right here. And he's also got the heavy machine guns linked. So you get the two of those. He's got an MAR, which is on his back, which we will put together here shortly. And then he's got the light artillery gun, which is this big guy back here. So he is big and fully outfitted. So there's a lot of weapons on this guy. Okay. So let's go ahead and put his legs on so we can finish off the bottom. Now, as we've talked about in the other ones, you have a little bit of leeway here with this ball goes into that half socket right there. So you can kind of play with this a little bit, see how you want, and kind of figure out, how you want him looking up, you want him looking straight ahead. I want him looking straight ahead, so yeah, we'll just do that. All right. That. And I think I'm going to need to re-glue that. It just doesn't feel like it's sticking. So we're going to do that real quick. Okay. And now for the other side, same thing. Now I'm going to hold it like so for just a moment to let that kind of take, and then I'm going to set it down like so. If you have followed the other videos, I like to have a base with glue dots on it to stick him down to, just to keep those legs from moving. So that way they will dry in the right position. And if you don't do it right, you could dry them in the wrong position. So just be careful. Okay, this little notch right there, as you can see right there, is for this front cod piece basically, which this will fit onto that. So let's go ahead and attach that. Just like so. All right. So with that, our legs are complete. Let's look at the torso one more time, because we're going to have a couple of rocket pods that we're going to attach, one on each side. Except not on this variant, because the Hammer variant has the artillery gun. He does not have the rocket pods, so we won't need those. That's the head. It's a very tiny head for such a large model. Let's talk about the arms real quick. So the arms have three parts. You have this major shoulder piece here, which is going to connect onto like that. Okay, and then from there you have this piece. Then when you take it off, you don't want to cut it smooth because you want those little notches right there, because that's going to slide into here, and that's going to give you the ability to, hey, it's attached to the arm. Now, where do you want it to face? So it's going to twist like that. And then this last piece, you'll see those, if you look closely, right here and right there. And if you look at this piece, this is like the outer cover. You've got these little notches on the side, okay, that will slide into place right there. So there you go. That's how it fits together. You might need to play with it a little bit to figure out exactly. I won't glue it until it's all in position and everything's ready. The arms, you get 2 right and 2 left arms. The easiest way to figure out which is which is look for the thumbs, or if you look at the back of the hand, you'll know which one makes sense, because you'll want the back of the hand goes on the outside. So you get 4 arms, 2 for each, all at a different angle. So if you look at these over here, this one's kind of right arm kind of straight down. This one is more straight out, not quite straight out, and a little bit further down, maybe a 30-degree angle versus a 10-degree angle, I don't know. So it gives you a lot of leeway in how you put the model together, how the arms are going to look. And with the shoulders, you have full motion here and here to kind of do whatever you want. So you might want the one gun kind of either down to the right and his knife hand up, kind of like this guy. You can do that. You can do more of your standard, he's just holding his gun straight out. There's different poses that you can do depending on how you want to have your model look. So this time you want to take a thought and say, okay, how do I want to finish building this off? How do I want to do the arms? So knowing that he's going to be carrying the heavy rifle, probably want to, maybe he's like holding it down and out that way. Maybe kind of have it that way. He also has the knife. Maybe he'll have that down. Let's go with that. So okay, so we have our arm here. I'm going to slide this in. Okay. And I'm going to try to position that how I think I might want it. Now, which arm to use? More straight out. If he's holding it kind of like that. Maybe that, or to do it that way, where he's actually holding it out. He's looking that way. He's holding. Ooh, I kind of like that. So let's do it that way. All right. So that's going to slide all the way into there. If you can't get it all the way in, maybe it gets stuck like that, you might need to trim just a little bit of. I'm sorry, I don't know if I had that on camera. This piece, this will slide all the way in position like that. If it gets stuck to where you have a gap like this, you might just need to trim a little bit of the stick off. And as I do that, about to go right into the cut that I did earlier. That's not real smart. And now does it fit? Now it'll go all the way in. So I'm going to go ahead and put some glue on there. Get some of this weld on there so it'll start to melt. And knowing that the part's going to go into his arm that way, I want to make sure that those slide in all the way. And I can still turn this a little bit if that's how you want it to look. Now slide this in like so. And now let's see how that will look. Like that. Yeah, I think that'll look good. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this onto the shoulder. Now, actually I'm going to glue the torso on here. What did they say? I wanted to have them look like that, yeah. So, and with the weld, you still have some time to play with it if you're not sure, or you do it and you say, I really don't like that. You can just peel it off, do it again. Alright, I think that looks pretty cool. Now I'm going to glue the arm on. Now remember, this is not glued in yet, because I want to be able to get it in that final position before I do that. And this is why I didn't glue it in, because now it looks like he's kind of got like a chicken wing hanging out there. So I'm going to adjust that down. I'm going to let that set for a minute, and we're going to move that arm down so that it's more down here, not hanging out. That's why I don't glue that in position before I stick it on, because you know, make sure you get it in that final spot and everything looks good. Okay, so for the other arm we have the same thing. We have this. And he's going to be carrying the vibro blade. And do I want it up higher or hanging down a little lower? So could go like that. Have the blade down a little bit. That's kind of cool. Do it that way. Could go with his arm shape a little further out. Uh-oh. Could go with this guy. And have that a little further down and out. That looks kind of cool. Alright, let's do that one. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this arm in there. Looks like it should fit. Glue there. Glue there. Now if I slide that into here, yeah, that looks pretty cool. Okay, and now again, I'll go ahead and glue this guy into place. But I have not glued the arm in into the socket yet. So that whole piece is still removable if I don't like the way it looks. Okay, so I wanted to reposition this arm because it looks like a big chicken wing out there. So see, I've got that leeway. So I think a little bit more like that. He'll be holding the gun. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that in place. Now, how? I don't even have to take that out. I'm just going to let this plastic weld get in. Let it sit in there. All that's going to be covered up anyway. And I'm going to go ahead and do that now by putting on our outer cover. And that just slides right in place there. Just like that. Alright. And then for the other arm, if I'm good with that, you can carry the blade like so. I'll go ahead and glue that one into position, doing the exact same thing. Just letting that weld run down into the crevices. And then we'll go ahead and attach this all at the same time. Alright, looking cool, looking very cool. Let's go ahead and attach his head while we're here. And it's going to go in that little spot right there. And on the bottom of him, you've got that little notch, that little ball, I guess, to fit inside that notch. And there we go. He's got his head on. Now he's got his head on straight. Sorry, bad pun. All right, how do we finish this off? So, if we look at our pieces here, you have this piece, which is going to attach down here, like so. You have this piece, which is going to attach to the backpack, and it's going to fit on here. You have this, our MAR, which there's multiple pieces that can fit on here, so on the sprue, so depending on which variant you're doing as to which one you're going to put on there. That's going to be the easiest, so we'll just go ahead and do that first. Okay, and then this slots into this backpack right there, or backpack, the engine. So let's go ahead and do that. There, there, and there. All right, now here, that little spot right there fits that part of the gun. That fits there, like so. Okay. Now, if I'm looking at this right in our picture, this gun should go like that. And then that will attach, or this will attach here first, down here. So probably I would go ahead and do that first. Alright, so this little hole here goes onto that. Right there. And then it will touch the rest of this here, so I'm going to go ahead and get the glue on that so it has something additional to attach to. Oh, I was totally wrong. It does not attach. I should have checked that first. It doesn't attach, but oh well. It still works. Straighten that up a little bit. Okay. And now this big gun will attach here. Oop, maybe that's a little. Do like that. All right. Looking cool. Looking very cool. All right. Don't need those. Knives I always attach. I'm going to attach those after I paint them. So let's go ahead and attach the gun. Now, to attach the gun, we know that the handle here is going to be in his hand. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that off. And now the only thing I'll do is just make sure that's flat. And then that will fit right into the hand right there. Alright. And now, so we're going to stick that on his hand. So now it looks like he's holding it. I'm going to hold that in place for a couple seconds. While that solidifies and starts to dry. Alright, and there we go. Our hammer variant Chevalier. You get 2 of these in the 2-player starter box. This is a really cool model. All these are really cool models. These are a lot of fun to build. Like I said, the hardest part is just figuring out how you want to put the arms on and what position you want them to be on. Lots of parts, but it shouldn't, you know, if you've put models and stuff together before, then this won't be that big a deal. If you've never put models together, this might be a little daunting as you look at, you know, all these models and go, wow, look at all of these parts. And you use most of the parts. So okay, let's go back to the main camera. And okay, so I hope this helped. This was our last Build It. The next ones are going to be our Paint It videos. And we're going to get our models painted. We're going to paint our Peace River. We're going to paint the NuCoal. I'll probably show you how to do one of each just to kind of get the color variations, but I'll do the whole army in the same thing. We'll use heavy contrast paints on that, or speed paints, you know, depending on which colors we want. And we'll try to do it quickly, I believe. As always, tell me what you think. This one, we've been about 20. We're right at 28 minutes, give or take. So, you know, not too bad. It's a bigger model, so it took a little longer, probably about 25 minutes build time. What do you think? Do you play Heavy Gear Blitz? What armies do you play? I keep repeating this. I really like the look of the Black Talon. I think I'm going to do the next, but I love these NuCoal. I love the Peace River that we already did. I really like the North and the South. I don't really think I found an army that I don't like. But I think the Black Talon I'll probably look at next. I don't know why I have to keep telling you all that. I just really like the look of them. But anyway, thanks for watching. As always, have a wonderful evening. Please like, subscribe, put a comment down below, and have a great evening. Bye now.